Hi, good morning, everyone. I'm Mike Solka with NASDAQ, and it's truly my great pleasure to welcome the Children's Heart Foundation, along with New York Chapter President Danielle Visvader Pradas. I'd also like to extend a special welcome to all of the organization's supporters, and especially to our guests from the Cohen's Children's Medical Center, Dr. Ruben Cooper, Dr. Richard Friedman, Dr. Denise Hayes, and our guest from New York Winthrop Hospital, Dr. Sasim Hogue, here watching on the web to NASDAQ. And before we go on, I'd also like to recognize the children. Where are you? Raise your hands if you're a child. Yeah? All right, we're going to ring the stock market bell today, and what we need is lots of clapping and cheering and smiles to get us going, because all us grumpy adults on a February Tuesday, we just need the help, so if you'll help us out later. But we're excited you could all join us right here from the crossroads of the world in Times Square, New York, as we get set to ring today's opening bell. The Children's Heart Foundation was founded by Betsy and Steve Peterson after their 8-year-old son Sam died of multiple organ failure brought on by a sudden heart-related collapse. Sam was born with complex CHDs, and had Sam been born 20 years earlier, he would not have survived. During his life, Sam proved that medical research and technology could conquer congenital heart defects, if only for a short while. It's through continued research that children born with congenital heart defects have a chance to survive, which is why Children's Heart Foundation is dedicated to funding this critical research. The Children's Heart Foundation's mission is to fund the most promising research to advance the diagnosis, treatment, and prevention of congenital heart defects. Since 1996, CHF has funded more than $11.1 million of research, and it's a national organization with headquarters located in Lincolnshire, Illinois. There are 12 chapters, including the New York chapter, which is led by Danielle Pradas as chapter president. We'd like to thank you all for your incredible, meaningful, and impactful work that you all do. And now everyone, please join me in welcoming Danielle Pradas to the podium. Thank you.
Thank you, Mike. Good morning. On behalf of the Children's Heart Foundation, I would like to thank NASDAQ for inviting us to be a part of today's opening bell ceremony. We are honored to be here, and we are excited about bringing increased visibility to our mission at the Children's Heart Foundation, which is to fund the most promising research to advance the diagnosis, treatment, and prevention of congenital heart defects. Nearly 1 in 100 babies born in the U.S. will have a congenital heart defect. On April 15, 2015, my husband Joe and I welcomed our daughter Olivia into this world, and she is part of that statistic. Olivia was born with a complex congenital heart defect, and she had life-saving open heart surgery at 6 weeks old. Despite that she is currently living without a pulmonary valve, she is doing great. She is a sweet and sassy, soon-to-be 4-year-old girl. She loves preschool, ballet, and playing with her 2 brothers. By looking at her, you would not know that she is missing her pulmonary valve, and that if today's medical technology does not advance from where it currently is, she will need at least 1 more open heart surgery in her lifetime. We still do not know what caused Olivia's congenital heart defect or if there was a way to prevent it. But as I stand here today, along with my husband and members of our family, I realize that we are the lucky ones. Olivia is here with us, and she is thriving. I became involved with the Children's Heart Foundation in 2016 after I realized how many children are faced with congenital heart defects and too many outcomes that are not as positive as Olivia's. Babies are dying, and children are struggling with lifelong medical issues that stem from congenital heart defects. Through my work with the Children's Heart Foundation, I have met far too many parents who have lost their children, and parents whose children are here with them now, but today's medical science simply cannot save them. 25% of babies born with complex congenital heart defects will not see their first birthday. The Children's Heart Foundation has been funding critical congenital heart defect research for over 20 years, and as you heard earlier this morning, we've already raised over $11.1 million, but we need to do more. Continuing to fund research will allow scientists to learn more about the causes of congenital heart defects, finding more life-saving medical advancements, and discovering less invasive treatment options. The mission of the Children's Heart Foundation is crucial to the children born with congenital heart defects and their families, and the doctors and nurses that treat them. The Children's Heart Foundation relies heavily on its volunteers to effectuate its mission. If you would like to be a volunteer for the Children's Heart Foundation and become more involved, we ask you to visit our website at www.childrensheartfoundation.org, or we welcome you to join us at one of our walks. We have a national walk series that begins this spring and continues through to the fall. Please visit that website at www.walkforchdresearch.org. Thank you.
We're just gonna look over there for a picture.